Hi everybody. As we discussed before, the cell and cell structure. Now, how are living things organized? What is beyond cells? An organism is a living thing that can carry out life process by itself. As you are an organism and you are carrying out all main life process or function by yourself. But we have unicellular organisms are made up of just one cell that perform all the functions of necessary, which you call prokaryotes. Unicellular organisms don't have levels of organization as multicellular one. Okay, so unicellular organisms like bacteria need fewer resources, and also some can live in harsh conditions such as hot or salty water. They are very small and are easily eaten by other organisms. The disadvantage of being unicellular is that entire organism will die if the cell dies because it's already formed of one cell. So if the cell dies, organism dies. Okay, so what about multicellular organisms? Have more than one cell that are grouped into different levels of organization. So there is no levels of organization in unicellular microorganisms. They formed of one cell only. Here in multicellular organisms, there are levels of organization and they are formed of more than one cell, many cells. The cells that made up a multicellular organism, such as human, plant, and animal, are specialized to perform specific function. What I mean, if this organism formed of many cells, not all cells performing the same function. Some cells are responsible for doing respiration, other cells are responsible for doing heart beating, and so on. So each group of cells will be responsible for specific function. Many multicellular organisms reproduce through sexual reproduction. Yes, multicellular organisms are larger, more efficient, and have longer lifespan than unicellular organisms. So they live longer. They reproduce mainly through sexual reproduction. What is, what is the main disadvantage of multicellular organism is that need more resources than unicellular organisms because they are formed they formed of many cells, so they need more resources to stay alive and to do their daily functions. The cells are specialized for certain job, which means that cells must depend on each other to perform all the functions that organisms need to live. As it is formed from many cells, so all cells could cooperate together to perform this specific function. One disadvantage is that it needs many resources. Okay, how are living things organized? Group of cells, we can call it a tissue. So group of similar cells that perform a common function, we call it tissue. Okay, we have four types of tissues in animals and humans: nervous tissue, epithelial tissue, connective tissue, and muscle tissue. Connective tissue, from its name, as in blood, bone tissue, it's connect different parts together. So it's connective tissue. Fine. Epithelial tissue, this is the outer layer, like the skin. So it's for protection. Muscular tissue or muscle tissue, this will help the muscle to perform its job. And nervous tissue, this is a messaging tissue. give message to different parts of the body to perform a certain job. So nervous tissue function as messaging system within the body. Epithelial tissue is protective such as skin. Connective tissue including bone and bone hold part of the body together. What about the tissues of plants? We have three types for plant tissue: transport tissue, protective tissue, and the ground one. Okay, from its name, you can predict the function. Transport tissue moves water and nutrients through the plant. So it transports water and nutrients through the plant. Protective tissue protects the outside of the plant. So from its name, you can predict the function. Ground tissue provide internal support and storage and absorb light energy. So ground tissue can support the internal part of the plant and store and absorb light energy. So a question here, which type of tissue is responsible for the photosynthesis? Yes, you are brilliant. This is the ground tissue because absorbing light energy by this tissue, photosynthesis in need for light. So ground tissue will help in the photosynthesis process. What about if you go beyond tissues? As we agreed, group of cells form tissues. Group of tissues will form organ. An organ is a structure made up of a collection of tissues that carries out special function. Okay, plants have organ. This is different to example, but if you go for the plant as such leaf, such as this leaf of the plant, leaf is an organ. The leaf is an organ that contains protective tissues to reduce water loss from the plant, which is formed from cells, right? And also we have ground tissue for photosynthesis and transport tissue to move nutrients from leaves to the stem. So the cooperation between tissues, different type of tissue inside the cell, will keep this leaf or this organ alive and in a good case. Okay, what is beyond organs? Beyond organs, organ system. Okay, organ system. Now we have many leaves and you have the stem. This is organ system, leaves and stem and root and something like that. If you go an example from human, an organ system is a group of organs that work together to perform body. So group of cells form tissue, group of tissues form organ, and group of organs will form organ system. So an organ system is a group of organs that work together to perform body function. Each organ system in the body has a specific job to do, like circulatory system, digestive system, nervous system inside your body. Each system has its specific job. These group of systems will form your total body as an organism. Okay, for example, stomach works with other organs of digestive system to digest and absorb nutrients from food, like esophagus, intestine, stomach, all are organs inside one system called digestive system. They are cooperating together to perform a specific job, which is digesting and absorbing nutrients from food. Other organs included in the digestive system are the esophagus and small and large intestine, as we mentioned. How are living things organized? What are the levels of organization in the two systems in plant? For the plant, we have shoot system, stem and leaves, and root system found below the ground. So we have here underground root system and shoot system for the stem and leaves. It's for the digestive system. Okay, different organs, stomach, esophagus, liver, small and large intestine. This will form the organ system. What's your function? What is the connection between structure and function? Cells, tissue, organs, and organ system make up the structure of multicellular organism. Yes, because as we agreed, unicellular organisms have only one cell. Structure is the arrangement of parts in organ or in organism or object, but function is the activity of each part. So this is the main difference between structure and function. Structure is arrangement of parts in an organism. Structure, the function of each part, this is a function. What is the connection between structure and function? As an example, we have two lungs. Yes? Okay. Lung is an organ made up of cells and tissues. Okay. That work together to help you to breathe. The lungs are made up of millions of tiny air sacs called alveoli. So the air sacs here called alveoli, millions of tiny air sacs called alveoli. This large number of alveoli increase the surface area of the lung to let you have enough oxygen. Okay, and carbon dioxide move between the lung in oxygen and out carbon dioxide. So this give you the difference between structure and function. Here is the structure, that lungs formed of bronchioles and tiny air sacs called alveoli. These alveoli reached in blood vessels. These tiny alveoli, million of alveoli as a structure, but the function giving a wide or increase the surface area of the lung, giving wide area in the lung to let enough oxygen and carbon dioxide can exchange between the lungs and the blood. We have some examples for interesting odd bodies as organisms. Different organisms develop many different kinds of body structure. Okay, so the spiny catadid has spines to protect it from being eaten, as you see. Also, the longhorn cowfish has a puckered mouth. This mouth helps it to blow away sand on the shallow ocean floor to find and feed on tiny organisms. Okay. The tarsier has huge eyes, as you see, to give it better night vision for finding insects to eat. It also has long fingers to help it grasp branches. So this is another example for structures in organisms and in odd bodies for doing different functions. What tasks do systems perform to meet the need of cell? A unicellular organism must perform all functions necessary for life. A multicellular organism has specialized cells, tissue, organ, and organ system to perform function. Some plants have vascular systems that transport water and nutrients to and from cells through the plant. What tasks do systems perform meet the need of the cell? Food is broken down by digestive system. Nutrients are delivered to cells via the circulatory system through the blood. Oxygen is taken in by the respiratory system. This oxygen is carried to cells via circulatory system. So the circulatory system or the blood, after digestion, it transports nutrients to different parts, and after respiration, it transports oxygen to different parts of the body. Waste are removed from the body by the skin, lung, digestive system, and kidneys through your urine or through digestive system. Put it together. So I agreed today that we have Level 1, group of cells forming tissue. Level 2, group of tissues will form organ. Then group of organs will form the system, and group of system will form you as an organism. And this is your task, as we did agree. Okay, I hope everybody already it was very easy to you, and hope all the success for you all. See you soon. Thank you.